So we already know who the top guys are in the NFC. Gibbs, McCaffrey, Bijan. I get that. But who is going to emerge in 2026? Because as a fantasy football manager, that's who you need to keep your eyes on. In this video, I'm sharing with you 3 running backs from the NFC who are sleepers and should be on your radar for 2026. Welcome to another edition of DHN Sports. I'm your host, as always, Wade Teamer. Let's jump right into this list, man. Number 1, Kyle Monangai. That's right. From the Chicago Bears, 23 years old, from Rutgers. I'm going to tell you right now, you see the Spartan helmet, the shirt, the hat. That means I watched this man run all over the Spartan defense for the last 2 years, okay? 2 years leading up to him being drafted, of course. So I had an opportunity to watch his style, and that's how he made this list. That's what caught my attention, was his running style. He's a lot more elusive, and he still is very strong, so he has that power element as well. The running back room for Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go through some changes, and as it stands right now, Kyle Monangai is best suited to take the lead role and help take some of the pressure off of DeAndre Swift. When you look at their numbers, which for Monangai, 169 carries, 783 yards, 4.6 per carry, that was pretty evenly distributed between him and Swift. The biggest difference and an important factor if you're playing fantasy, though, is age here. I believe DeAndre Swift is 27, Monangai is 23, and the 2 other backs that Chicago has are also up in age as well. So it's only a matter of time before the bulk of the production begins to shift towards Monangai. In addition to that, guys, the upside potential here. That's what will be my focus for my roster in 2026 is guys who are just about to begin their breakouts. They're going to be replacing veterans, much like Monangai is in this situation. Which brings me to my next running back. This is a guy who impressed me towards the end of the season. I was watching a game with the Commanders after Jaden got injured the first time. He came into the game, man, and it was, again, running style that caught my attention. I'm talking about Chris Rodriguez Jr., okay? 4-year guy out of Kentucky. He's 26. So, yeah, he's a bit up there, but I still think he has potential. In the offseason, he'll be a free agent. I'm hoping Washington decides to pick him up one more time. But if not, I believe he still can be valuable. In 2025, he set career highs for touchdowns as well as rushing yards and carries. So that shows a increased amount of utility for him. I think he can handle the load. There are a number of teams who need a good backup running back or even a starter running back going into 2026. So when it comes to him and his fantasy numbers, I did want to drop this in here. Towards the end of the season, he was hitting double digits. Those last 4 to 5 games, last 6 games, actually, he was hitting double digits in fantasy. So that's pretty good. He finished as a top 20 running back. And again, this is another situation where I'm just a fan of the running style. He's not a shifty, elusive type. He's big body bruiser. Inside the tackles will run you down, okay? Run straight through you. I watched him do it. So I like Chris Rodriguez as another sleeper pick coming out of the NFC for 2026. Even though he's not on a roster, he may not be on a roster, I don't think that free agent status is going to last much longer because I'm not the only one seeing what his potential could be. In addition to that, he's pretty good in the passing game as well. I don't have his numbers for his catches, but it definitely complements his running game. So a fantasy season with less than 100 fantasy points, I think he's got a point to prove. So my eyes are on Chris Rodriguez Jr. going into 2026. Last running back. And this is a guy similar to Monangai who I watched in college coming out of Texas, former Longhorn, Jadon Blue. He was highly projected coming out of the draft. Mel Kiper had him all over his board, and I understood why. Again, I watched him play in Texas. 22 years old, 5th rounder. In 2025, he only had 38 carries for 129 yards. He did not get the opportunity that he really needed. Javonte Williams had the majority of the carries out in Dallas, so it makes sense. But a similar situation as Chicago is unfolding in Dallas, where age is playing a factor in the running back room, and the freshest legs that they have is Jadon Blue. And I just checked the rosters for Dallas. Javonte Williams, as well as Malik Davis, are on injury reserve. Even if they're not still injured when we get to the season, injuries always hamper a running back's production. And the offensive coordinator, the personnel, the people in charge in Dallas, I mean, it would only make sense to shift the production to Jadon Blue. Of all of the backs that I have shared with you in this video, I think Jadon Blue is going to be the biggest breakout for that reason alone. He didn't get the opportunity to show what he could do, and he's not bad. Trust and believe, he ain't bad. And now it's a situational opportunity that it sits in front of him, and I think he's going to take advantage of it. So when it comes to the three backs that I'm watching from the NFC, it's Kyle Monangai, Chicago, Christopher Rodriguez, currently a Commander, and Jadon Blue down in Dallas. Let me know what you think of those three running backs down in the comments. Also, let me know which running backs you may have your eye on heading into 2026. With that, my name is Wade. I'll see y'all in the next one.